stage 2 carbohydrate metabolism is pyruvate oxidation in mitochondria. So glycogenolysis and glycolysis start G6P is right, glucose 6 phosphate. So glucose molecule in the blood is become glucose 6 phosphate, and in the muscle glycogen can be glucose 6 phosphate 2 is right, and it's become, I just make simpler, it's more simpler simpler G3P and G3P, right? Several steps and become pyruvate. So during high intense exercise or during strenuous physical activity, so this pyruvate become lactate. Did you remember? So how about G3P? It release proton. And actually, I didn't show in my PowerPoint and our textbook, is there electron too, is right? Proton and electron. And this proton and electron must go to the mitochondria at rest or during low intensity exercise. It cannot go, it needs a coenzyme. So NAD plus to come as a Uber taxi, and to receive this proton to electron become NADH plus proton. Did you remember, right? And how about here too, right? So how about just for clarification is here. How about here? This is high intensity exercise. This is moderate exercise, moderate intensity exercise at rest. Well, low to moderate intensity and at rest. So high exercise intensity, and this same twist, right? This release proton, and I do not write here, but it's there are electron 2. Right? So NAD plus to come as a coenzyme and to receive 2 proton 2 electron and become NADH plus proton. Did you remember? However, during high exercise intensity, right? High exercise intensity, there are mitochondria is here. But however, during high exercise intensity, this pathway is inhibited during high exercise intensity. So NADH as proton, it should become NAD plus to get a more proton, more electron. So glycolysis can continue, is right? And pyruvate should enter mitochondria, but during high exercise intensity, cannot enter. So this is why pyruvate is accumulating. But that is like the product concentration increase. That case, glycolysis cannot continue. So this case, NADH plus NADH plus proton give 2 proton and electron, right? 2 proton to electron to the pyruvate. So pyruvate become lactate. And NADH is give proton and 2 electron, right? It's 2 proton, 2 electron, so become NAD plus. So it can get more proton and more electron, is right? Yeah, so it's great. So 2 proton, 2 electron to the pyruvate, and pyruvate reduce lactate, right? So this lactate is here. So lactate formation actually continue so is help glycolysis, right? Glycolysis can continue. So during high intensity exercise or during strenuous physical activity. But however here at rest or during moderate to light to the moderate intensity exercise. So this case NADH to NADH plus proton, right? So through the some shuttle is right, but I want to simplify, so I'll not say that here. So this is mitochondria is a double membrane, right? So outer membrane, inner membrane, and intermembrane space, and this is is a matrix, is right? So this NADH proton is reduced FAD to FADH2, right? To get 2 proton, 2 electron, right? And right? So NAD plus is because give 2 proton, 2 electrons, right? So it's right as NAD plus. So together more proton, more electron, is right? As well as at rest during light to the moderate intensity exercise, pyruvate is directly enter mitochondria. Wow, it's great. It's great, is it right? So mitochondria enter, but there are pyruvate dehydrogenases reaction. Yeah, it's complicated, but how about it's more simple here? So it's for example like this. And how about first? Why not? We can count is a carbon number. Glucose, how many carbon? Did you remember? I asked you guys to memorize the chemical structure. C6H12O6 is right. So 6 carbon is right. 6 carbon. 6 carbon. And how about G3P? 3 carbon. 3 carbon. Glycolysis is right. Yeah. And pyruvate, 3 carbon. 3 carbon is right. So this is why 6 carbon after glycolysis. And pyruvate 3 carbon, but pyruvate dehydrogenase reaction when, how about this is pyruvate? Pyruvate enter in the mitochondria. Pyruvate dehydrogenase reaction is kind of squeeze this ball. So this reaction, this enzyme, squeeze this ball and CO2 release, right? CO2 release, right? So how about this case? Yeah, CO2 release, CO2 release. That case, this is 1 carbon is right. Start 3 carbon. So 1 carbon is out of the pyruvate. So right now it's 2 carbon molecule, right? So acetic acid, 2 carbon molecule. This makes sense? Makes sense. 2 carbon molecule. And how about keep squeeze, right? It release 2 proton. I do not write here, but actually if I write down here is electron is here too. Electron is here too, right? Yeah, yeah. Right. So proton and electron, which one should come? Metabolic Uber taxi. Yeah. So NAD plus to come here, right? And to be NADH plus proton. Yeah. So here and another one, there are important enzyme, another LIMO, another metabolic Uber taxi is here. Coenzyme A. Coenzyme A, yeah. So participate, not really participate. Coenzyme A is really coenzyme A. How about like this? How about like this? This is acetic acid. Coenzyme A is fold like this. Coenzyme A. So become acidic coenzyme A. Oh, I think I can write down it here. This is better. Acidic coenzyme A. Become acidic coenzyme A. How many carbon? Can you guess? 2 carbon, right? Is it right? So this is pyruvate dehydrogenase reaction, pyruvate oxidation. So how about the product? 1 CO2, 1 NADH plus proton, and 1 acyl coenzyme A. Is it right? But this is from 1 pyruvate. But how about from 1 glucose molecule or 1 glycogen molecule? Yeah. So just 1 carbohydrate, right? 1 glucose molecule, right? So this case, we need the product is 2, is right? It should be multiply 2 because we have 2 pyruvate. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yeah. So this is a pyruvate reaction, and another one. Right now, this acidic coenzyme A, where should it go? It should go, is right? So TCA cycle, right? And TCA cycle look like this, right? TCA cycle, there is oxaloacetate is waiting for there, right? Yeah, waiting for here to the acidic coenzyme A. And another one, this coenzyme A is release acetic acid is very easily. I didn't say it's like a combined together. So acidic coenzyme A is hold like this. Yeah, hold right and go to the TCA cycle and release. It's released. So acidic coenzyme A here and release acetic acid. So acetic acid is here and just become free Coenzyme A, this coenzyme A come to here. Where is? Oh yeah, here. Return. Right? Oh, it's really metabolic taxi, right? Oh, that is really uber. Right? So acetic acid, how many carbon? 2 carbon is right. And oxaloacetate, how many carbon? You didn't learn yet, but 4 carbon. Right? So 2 carbon, multiply, add 4 carbon, it's become 6 carbon, is a citrate. So citrate is a 6 carbon again. Wow, it looks like glucose, is right. Makes sense, makes sense. But how about this 6 carbon? There are some oxidation and it should be 4 carbon, is right. Oh, it's mean, oh, TCA cycle. I think it's release 2 CO2 because 6 carbon, it should be 4 carbon. So, but you'll learn later, right? So how about class? Does it make sense? This is the pyruvate dehydrogenase reaction. It's stage 2 of carbohydrate metabolism, pyruvate oxidation. Thank you.